The two principals had summoned members of parliament early to the Grand Coalition government for a parliamentary group meeting at the KICC Nairobi. Top on the agenda at the meeting, attended by more than 70 MPs, was to persuade them to drop controversial bid to make amendments to the Banking, Customs and Excise, Value Added and Energy Acts through the Finance Bill, which has since been withdrawn by Finance Minister Uhuru Kenyatta. And after 2 hours of give and take deliberations, it was evident that the meeting had hit a brick wall after MPs stood their ground, vowing to push through the controversial amendments.
There's no finance bill we are going to pass without that amendment of the banks. No finance bill. We don't want any gentleman's agreement.
A customer must earn at least 70% of what he has saved. They have tried to convince us, but we have refused.
It is difficult for the common individual, common Kenyan, to be able to go to the bank today and be able to borrow.
One of the amendments sponsored by Joint Chief Whip and GEM MP Jakoyo Midiwo seeks to impose a ceiling on how much interest banks can charge on loans and pay on deposits. The amendment proposes that banks be disallowed from charging borrowers interest at a rate more than 4% above the prevailing central bank rate, currently pegged at 18%, and pay depositors interest at a rate of above 70% of the same benchmark. However, during the meeting, Finance Minister Uhuru Kenyatta dismissed this particular amendment on the basis that a similar bill sponsored by Rangwe MP Martin Ogindo contained similar provisions.
If the interest rates are beyond reach, then the private sector will be discouraged, because which private sector will borrow money at the rate of over 30%? You can't make profit.
Kenyatta withdrew the finance bill from Parliament on December 1st, protesting attempts by MPs to table numerous amendments to the bill. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Finance Uhuru Kenyatta remains with no option but to move the finance bill before the floor of the House for debate, even after holding it for more than 3 weeks. The finance bill should be adopted by end of this month to give the government the legal authority to collect taxes. Earlier, Imenti Central MP Gitobu Imanyara accused the two principals of going against the constitution and principles of good governance.
And we have moved away from the dark days of KANU era, where the head of KANU, the President of the Republic, would summon MPs either to State House or KICC or some other place to make deals away from the public limelight and then come to rubber stamp them in Parliament.
The issue also found itself on the floor of the House in the afternoon. Speaker Kenneth Marende will give a ruling on the matter on Wednesday afternoon. Thairu, Citizen Live at 9.